Syracuse. A Cumulus Media station, the voice of the Central New York sports fan. The Score.
Welcome
1260.
to your home for local sports in Syracuse. Outside the Box Score with Mark Rowlands starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. We got Jim in the chat already saying the studio's looking a little light today. Yep. Josh is at a baby shower, which is a thing that I didn't realize men attended. So we're just going to leave it at that. Solo show today. Phone lines open the entirety of the show. 315-671-1260. If you want to chime in, that's 315-671-1260. Chat's going to be open the entire time as well. If you are just listening to the show via the Score 1260 or the Score 1260 app, feel free to check out the live stream that I have every single week here from the studio. I've got a camera set up in here. Talk to me during the breaks. Talk to me throughout the show. You can go to twitch.tv/marker_box, or you can go to my Twitter account at marker_box, or you can check out the Score 1260 YouTube channel. That's right. Live stream on 3 different platforms every week. Make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube side. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Like I said, that's marker_box for those platforms. A lot to talk about this week. World Series getting underway last night. Caught the game once I got home. I was at a screening at the Landmark Theater of maybe pound for pound my favorite movie of all time, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. 50th anniversary screening last night at the Landmark Theater. John Cleese of the Pythons was in attendance. Seeing a movie like that on a big screen, and granted, it was the Landmark. It's not like I went to see it in IMAX. They just had the screen that they have up on the stage at the Landmark. But seeing that movie with a crowd, a fairly packed house at the Landmark last night. Not sold out by any means, but plenty of people there. Everyone just laughing their butts off every, 5 seconds or so with how funny that movie is. It was an absolute treat. And then to hear John Cleese speak before and after the movie, it was really a great time. So if you ever have a chance to go to any of those special anniversary screenings that happen, I know the Jaws 50th anniversary screening was this year. Any anniversary screenings like that, I highly recommend it, because my father and I had a wonderful time at the Landmark Theater last night watching a movie that we've seen probably triple digits between the two of us. In terms of how many times we've seen that movie, and it's just as funny every single time. So I had an absolute ball last night, but I got home, was able to watch the World Series, watched the big inning that the Blue Jays had, scoring, 7 runs in one inning? I'm getting the box score up right now. 9 runs in the 6th inning. Saw the Barger grand slam. It was really a great game by the Toronto Blue Jays, who I think most of the country seems to be rooting for, despite the fact they are the team that is not from our country. So the Blue Jays pretty much have 2 whole countries supporting them in this World Series. Awesome to watch last night. It was a rocky start for Blake Snell. Not a great start for Trey Savage, but able to get through it. But we're going to break down that game in more detail as we move on in this one. SU football playing today. They've got a game against Georgia Tech. Syracuse, of course, coming off another loss, this time at the hand of the Pitt Panthers, 30-13. We'll break that game down. Did see our first Luke Carney appearance of the season in that one. Ricky Collins, not a great game again. Not a great game by the Syracuse running backs either. But we'll break that one down as Syracuse gets ready for a 12 o'clock kickoff today against the number 7 team in the country, the Ramblin' Wreck over at Georgia Tech. Syracuse, a 16.5 point underdog in that one. I'll say the same thing I said about the Pitt game last week. Doesn't seem like enough points. It closed to 9.5 last week against Pitt. Syracuse, of course, losing by 17. Georgia Tech is a better team than Pitt. They haven't really played many people this year. They beat Clemson, but then again, so did Syracuse, so that's not really saying a ton. Haven't really played any top tier competition yet this season, Georgia Tech, but the teams they have been playing, they have been steamrolling. So it's going to be a tough one moving forward today for Syracuse, but there is some solace. Georgia Tech will be without 3 starters today. We'll get into who they are in a little bit when we do a preview of that game in just a little while. And then we'll talk about I'll go through some of the high school football scores. We're getting towards the end of high school football season here, and we'll go through those scores as we get ready to get into sectionals and then eventually states. We know that teams like Liverpool and CBA are going to be playing for sectional finals, and CBA likely on their way to another state crown. I'm just looking to see if they played yesterday. There's only one day left of high school football, and that's today in the regular season. So we are getting down to the nitty gritty in high school football season. Hopefully looking to get Liverpool tight end Oakley Keegan on the show here coming up pretty soon. Oakley is an absolute weapon for Liverpool as they beat West Genesee 51-0 last night. Their only loss on the season coming at the hands of CBA last week. But we'll break down a lot more of that and anything you want to talk about. Like I said, the chat's open all show. Phone lines are going to be open. Call during the break so I can screen your call, and then we'll bring you on afterwards. That's 315-671-1260. We're going to take a timeout. Come back in just a couple of minutes here on Outside the Box Score, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan?
How many starters would Georgia Tech need to be missing for SU to cover? I don't know, 9? Yes, and SU basketball tonight. Got an exhibition. That's right. We're finally in basketball season. Outside the Box Score, what's the name where you're calling from? Okay, Josh, I'll throw you on hold. Yeah. We got Josh on the line. He actually called in, Jim. He did it. Looks like CBA didn't play yesterday. Did they play on Thursday? They did. Ooh, good one on Thursday. Oh, Jim, I didn't even see you posted a poll. Jim, I voted in the poll. I have voted in the poll. Everyone go to my Twitter account and vote in Jim's poll. I just quote tweeted it. I like how in this write-up about Georgia Tech's starters on ESPN, they mentioned that down 2 key secondary members against an Orange passing game that is averaging 294.3 yards per game, which is still just so inflated from when Angeli was actually playing. Oh, God. They're actually out 4 starters. They got another guy that was Was starting earlier in the year. He's out for the second straight week. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse. Going to jump over to the phone lines. We've got Josh from a baby shower calling in. Josh, what's going on, pal?
That's right. What's up, Patty? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Great to see that there's early commercials and plentiful. That's always good.
Yep.
Got to pay the bills.
Yeah. So I do have to ask, because you mentioned this to me briefly like a week ago. Why are you going to a baby shower?
That's right. I'm not at the baby shower. I had to drop off the gal to the baby shower. But,
okay.
It's in Rochester, whatever. I'm at apparently the most popular fucking diner. Oh, nope. Nope. Wow. Even a dump on the... You know what it is? It's that I feel like we're just chatting.
Yeah,
we're just having a call.
We are, in fact, on the radio.
Get me off this thing. It's because it's the most popular diner in the world. I got a 40-minute wait time in a diner. It's a diner, Mark. So I'm waiting at the diner right now. It's the most popular diner in the world. Add it to the list. I got to get out of this thing, I think. I don't think I'm safe to be on. A couple of quick hits, though.
Yep.
Go Blue Jays.
Go Blue Jays. America's
you
team.
Have to root for, right. Canadians to win the World Series. Don't love it. But we can't love the Dodgers. You can't let it happen. Do everything you can. Great to see the Grand Slam last night. What a tremendous atmosphere in Toronto. I think famously last year on the show, I said when I went to Toronto for games, I called them some of the worst fans in the world.
You did.
I said that they are the dumbest baseball fans of all time, and that may be true. But boy, are they loud. They are loud. And they understand, because I think even the pop fly to end that inning after the two-run shot, and it was clearly just to center field. And those people, I mean, they're
going crazy.
They just ball off the bat, and they think it's gone, and you got to love the passion, but they are stupid. So go Blue Jays. Today, Jim, if you're already in the chat talking about is 17 enough, I don't think it is. I think Georgia Tech annihilates this team at home. I have no hope. I've finally given up on Syracuse. Last week I was the guy saying it might not be enough. It's enough. They probably win
certainly
by 24
enough.
Minimum. Yeah. Syracuse is getting killed today. What else do I got on the docket today? I don't know. Sabres had a fun win last night. Steve Levy calling the game on ESPN. That's always fun.
Love that. Shout out Oswego.
Steve Levy giving $100,000 to Oswego. New donation coming in this week.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
One channels, yeah. So that's good. Love that. Good for Central New York stuff. And I don't know. You got anything else for me?
Basketball season started.
It did. Boy, did it. The Pelicans are fun. Okay, so I had to tell the people. We went with the Pelicans. The wheel is just, we did a wheel. There was a bunch of us. We couldn't decide what team. We had like 5 different teams: Mavs, Spurs, Pelicans, Trailblazers. Thank God we didn't pick the Trailblazers.
Yep.
With whatever the hell is going on over there. And then so we did a wheel. We came down to the Pelicans. We need 31 wins. And they've played 2 close games so far. And they're fun. They're fun to watch. Zion is a great talent this year again. Jeremiah Fears, Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey played at center last night. He started at center.
Sure.
This is a fun team. It's a fun team. They got that guy from Maryland, Derek Queen.
Yep.
Watch out. Rookie of the year, watch out. That guy played 34 minutes yesterday, Marky. He's a stud.
He's
a
good.
Stud. He was guarding Wemby. Very good. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I do have Jim threw a poll out on Twitter.
Hit me.
It specifically for you. You said poll for Josh, less painful experience. There are 3 options, so you have to choose the least painful. Doing this radio show, going to a baby shower, or watching SU throw a pass.
So what would be the easiest thing for me to watch or do?
The easiest thing for you to do or watch.
I don't know. Baby shower might be a good vibe. Me and a bunch of gals could be fun. Could be fun, but there's a couple pregos there, so kind of bringing down the vibe.
Yep.
I don't know. SU throwing a pass also not a great time, but little Ricky's gotten a little better, I think.
Has he? Threw 3 picks last week.
Yeah, and but I think he showed some bright spots. At least there was some good with all of the bad, a lot of bad, but at least there was some good. Normally it's just bad. So no, I mean that's pretty bad too. I guess doing the show. I guess. It's
funny.
Look at me, I'm calling in, Jim.
You are calling in. I originally read the poll wrong when I voted in it, and I voted for watching SU throw a pass. I read it as most painful experience.
Yeah.
So shout out me for saying I don't even want to do my own radio show. Apparently.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else on the docket today. I was supposed to maybe go to a paintballing things where you paintball pretend zombie, like actors who are zombies. That would have been fun.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, Jackson, the nephew, he likes to do that.
Yeah, of course.
Just likes to assault people.
Yeah,
so
that tracks for Jackson. Time. Sure.
Yeah. So we got time.
What's that?
So I got time today.
Yeah, I mean, you're just living the dream, hanging out in Rochester, waiting for your girlfriend to leave a baby shower. So,
yeah, I mean, what's better than that? Am I right?
How long do those things go?
Today's, I believe, is about 3 hours.
Oh.
Because then, of course, my friend is the dad, and he's got to go at the end. There's like all these different weird rules that have come up in things. Like, the guy goes to the end of the baby shower. For what? They don't want to see the guy. The guy already did his job. That's why she's pregnant.
Yeah, he did his job. Exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get why the guy goes. I don't get there's plenty of other things that I don't understand. The photos throughout the constant stages of life, the engagement photos, the wedding photos, the ring photos, these photos, the maternity photos, pictures of you. You don't want to remember you pregnant. You hate yourself. All women say when they're pregnant, I'm so fat, my ass is so big. And then let's take a picture of it. Why? What are we doing?
Yeah, it certainly is something like, so just so you can show someone in like 20 years and be like, oh, look how young I was. Like, and then you just get sad again.
Right. You're like, at least I was fat and hot. I
like,
could have been hot. You saw the potential.
Yeah, like I see where you're coming from there.
Yeah.
Jim said, should Josh be taking notes for future reference? Probably not.
With all the Well, I mean, I probably should be taking notes of things to do right, but
yeah,
I mean, I've already said half of these things that I'm watching through my friends' lenses that I'm like, I'm not doing that, doing that. That's not going to work. She's like, we got to do the photos. I'm like, I hate the photos. I hate the photos.
That is honestly one of the things I'm dreading. I don't like having my picture taken. Never have. And so the fact that I'm going to have to be in a million photos over the course of about a year, I don't like it.
I don't want to pay for it. Maybe it's the little shiesty side of me. I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, can I get a friend to do this for us?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You did
same thing. Like, and I know enough photographers where I could probably just like have it happen, but
quid pro quo.
Yeah, like, but really, like paying someone to come take my picture? No, thanks.
Yeah, that's no good.
You could, if you're looking for something to do, you're almost to Buffalo. Go watch SU basketball. They're playing an exhibition game against the Bulls today.
Is that right? What, like 3:00 probably?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to double check the time.
Should we be tuned into SU basketball this year? Is this the year that they are competitive again?
I think they're going to be solid. 7 o'clock.
Should be, right? I mean,
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
SU basketball game. Yeah, I think they're going to be good.
I'm thinking at some point this season we could be / should be ranked. Is that a fair bet? Is that crazy to say?
I don't know about ranked, but I feel like we'll be getting votes.
Okay.
Make
the tournament. The goal is make the tournament.
Goal is make the tournament. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
But with, Sadiq White coming in and Donnie's back and JJ's back and, obviously Mello's kid, Kyan Anthony, Nate George, the transfer out of Georgia Tech at the point. There's a chance that this team is solid this year. Oh, Josh? And we lost Josh. Okay. Well, that was Josh calling in from a diner in Rochester as he awaits his girlfriend to leave a baby shower. Take a time out, come back, talk some SU sports, not just football. We'll talk some basketball as well here on the Score 1260.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high.
Yeah, I mean, the guy just hung up. Oh, he just texted me. Oh, he got another call. I can't read the I mean, I guess I'm not on the traditional air right now, but he said, "Mother effer, I got another call." Oh, the sham, Adam Palmberry is there. The plum bum. I'm so excited for SU basketball. I'm so done with this football team already. We can guarantee one thing about Josh's breakfast today. It will not include any vegetables. No vegetables before noon. All right, so plus I believe that's our third dump button. I believe that's the third time we've had to hit the dump button because of Josh. I think Pat Burke's got one, maybe. I don't know. Pat's not in the chat. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Syracuse football kicking off at noon today at the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. 16.5-point underdogs for the Orange. Simply not enough points, in my opinion. Coming off a loss, Pitt Panthers beat us up last week at the JMA Wireless Dome 30-13. Ricky Collins 15-31 throwing the ball. 126 yards. 2 touchdowns. 3 interceptions. SU averaged 2.5 yards per carry running the ball. It was not a good showing. Not a good showing at all for Syracuse last week. And somehow, I was looking at the numbers last week. Get them up again. I believe Syracuse and Pitt averaged the same yards per play. It was like 3.2 yards per play or something, or 3.7. And Syracuse still lost by 17. There is just nothing left to root for this Syracuse team. Unless they give Luke Carney a real shot, which I don't think they will, because they want him to maintain his eligibility and potentially redshirt. What is there? Because Collins clearly is not the guy when it comes to throwing the ball. This offense is built around throwing the ball. The running backs are good when the passing offense is good, because you don't know, they can run a lot of play actions, and that's what happens a lot. You see this with the Philadelphia Eagles this year, too. The running game isn't as effective when the passing game isn't as effective. And so all of a sudden we had this really good passing offense with a really good rushing offense. And once the passing offense goes away, so does the rushing offense, because you know what? The defense says, well, they're not going to pass the ball. So let's load the box and take out the run game. And then you get SU averaging 2.5 yards per carry on 30 attempts. Yasin Willis had 13 carries for 16 yards. Will Nixon, 5 carries for 9 yards. Just as inefficient as you could possibly want. 1.2 and 1.8 yards per carry for our 2 good running backs. It's a shame. It could have been a really fun season. And it obviously all goes back to Angeli getting hurt. It's a devastating blow for this team, especially with the schedule. We've still got to play 3 teams that might end up in the college football playoff, with Georgia Tech, Miami, and Notre Dame. On the road. We knew it was going to be a tough season. We knew we likely wouldn't reach the heights that we reached last year, beating Miami in the last week of the season with Kyle McCord leading the way. We knew that probably wasn't going to happen again. But to have the air taken out of your balloon so early in the year with a devastating injury, what is there for the rest of this year? Hope Ricky Collins turns into something and can be a good backup for Angeli next year? No. As of right now, there is very little to truly care about with this Syracuse team moving forward. And right when the hype around this team, not in terms of like national hype or anything, which there was some last year, but not in terms of that, not in terms of expectations, but when the vibe around the team finally started to get higher just here in town, people were caring about Syracuse football again, something that they hadn't done in years. People are all in on Fran Brown. People were all in on this team. Hey, screw what Vegas says. Maybe we go out and win 8 games again this year. We get into a good bowl. We surprise people. Maybe end up in that top 25 again. It just didn't happen. And now the fan base feels deflated again, myself included. And we're all just waiting for basketball to start again, which is the same feeling that we've had around Halloween for a decade. Maybe more, but at least a decade. And then we think about the basketball team, who are playing an exhibition today against Buffalo, 7 o'clock, SU basketball in action for the first time. We think about the basketball team, and my expectations are maybe higher than most. I think Sadiq White is a difference maker as a freshman. Potential lottery pick difference maker as a freshman. J.J. Starling and Donnie Freeman, if Donnie can play the way he was starting to before he got hurt last year, he's a difference maker. We know what J.J. Starling can do. He can go out and get you 20, 25 points. We've got Nate George coming in out of Georgia Tech, new point guard, who's going to distribute the ball. Play a true point guard for this team. William Kyle, transfer out of UCLA. Freak athlete on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Now, the basketball skills we'll see, but what we do know is he's an absolute freak athlete. Kyan Anthony. We've got the son of our prodigal son, the man that led us to an NCAA championship. Now, I'm not saying Kyan is going to be his father because no one else has been. But if he can make shots, if he can create his own shot coming off the bench, that's going to be a key player for Syracuse. Luke Fennell, the point guard out of Australia. All-around game. Good rebounder, good passer, can score the ball when necessary. Seems like he'll be a good defender. I hate to play this game, but if this is the sort of team, the way it's constructed, I'd say it's the best team construction SU has had in a few years. It might have to be tournament or bust for Red Autry. So far, Adrian Autry has not been the guy that Syracuse fans thought he was going to be when he was hired. And listen, he was put in a tough situation. You've got to replace a legend. I know how a lot of Syracuse fans felt about Jim Boeheim towards the end, but that is still one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. Someone who was involved with Syracuse for over 50 years. A man that led us to the promised land. A man that continuously took underdog teams to the Sweet 16, the Final Four. Teams that shouldn't have made it that far. Made it to the Final Four as a 10 seed. So I know the last couple of years of Jim Boeheim's tenure weren't the same. But Adrian Autry has to come in and take over a program that most people who watch this team don't remember without Jim Boeheim. And I was hoping when he was hired, he would do what he did when he was the point guard at Syracuse. He would run a fast, ball movement heavy offense. Just run and gun. And it hasn't been that. It's been a lot of iso ball. They barely run an offense, which is something that we saw with Jim Boeheim towards the end and has yet to change in Red Autry's tenure as the head coach. And I'm not one to call for jobs. I never have. I never will. And I'm not saying I think Red Autry should be fired because I don't think he should be fired. I just think that this could be a make or break year for Coach Autry and the Syracuse basketball program. Because with the level of talent that there is on this team, we shouldn't be hoping for 500. We shouldn't be hoping to make a run in the ACC tournament to push for an NCAA bid. When I look at this team, when I think about the talent on this team, it seems like a tournament team. So what it boils down to is, can this team be coached to play to the level that they're capable of? At least in my opinion. What they seem like they're capable of. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm ultra familiar with the ins and outs of this program because today's the first time they'll be in action. And it's an exhibition game against Buffalo. Will I watch the stream? Probably. Just to see what we've got out of this team. But right now, when I look at it, it seems like this is a tournament team. I also forgot to mention Nate Kings, who had transferred from Oregon State, who's a three-point assassin. So the shooting looks like it's getting better. The defense will hopefully be better. It can't be much worse than it was last year. There's a lot of new guys on the team. 6 transfers and 5 freshmen. I'm excited about this team. This could be a big bounce back year for Syracuse, and I hope it is. And we'll obviously continue talking about this team every single week because for me, they're the straw that stirs the drink of Syracuse sports. It's great when the football team's good like they were last year. But as a lifelong Syracuse fan, they're what does it. So we'll see. Season starts tonight, baby. Not officially, but in my opinion, season starts tonight. We're going to take a timeout, come back, talk more, anything you want. We'll still talk about the World Series. Still going to talk about the high school football scores as well. So we'll be right back here on Outside the Box Score, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail,
I'll definitely check out some of the stream just to see something.
Hey Syracuse, this is Dan from the Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus. Marketing my restaurant is such an important part of our success. When I need someone who understands my goals and brings me creative, I call Sam Becker.
Yeah, I haven't caught any of the LPGA international stuff, Jim. I haven't watched any of it yet. Didn't realize it was going to be on tonight, so I'll probably check out some of that. Oh, it starts at 10 o'clock? I knew it was in Korea, but I thought maybe 8. Yeah. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Just want to go through some of the high school football scores with you. Big game on Thursday, CBA taking on their rival CNS. And despite the fact that CNS hasn't had as great of a year as they have in recent years, they were sitting at 5-2, 4-1 in their class going into this one, but they ran into the buzzsaw that is CBA. CBA, though, 21-20 over CNS at North Syracuse. These two teams always play tough. They are, like I said, longtime rivals, and it was a big day for CNS running the ball. It was Myjon McDowell-Reed had 32 rushing attempts, the running back at CNS. They only threw the ball 10 times, similar to CBA only threw the ball 10 times. 32 rushing attempts for 206 yards and 2 scores. He was unstoppable. CBA went with a more balanced rushing attack, 31 attempts for 152 yards, but that was broken up between 4 guys, including their quarterback, Graydon Dixon, who led the team in rushing attempts. He had 11 attempts for 42 yards and 2 scores. Isaiah Coleman, starting running back, 9 attempts for 46 yards and a touchdown in that dynamite matchup on Thursday night. And then, of course, Friday Night Lights, a lot of games last night. I mentioned Liverpool beat up on West Genesee 51-0. That was a home game for Liverpool. New Hartford continued their undefeated season. They're going into the playoffs at 8-0 after a 42-18 victory over Camden last night. Skinny Atlas taking down West Hill 32-20. Look, I know Corcoran beat Central Square last night. My Cougars finishing their regular season at 5-3. So solid season for Corcoran this year. Nottingham got to 2-6 with a win over Watertown. Fowler got to 2-6 with a win over Fulton. Tough year for Fulton. Fowler wins 42-14. Fulton going 0-8 on the year. But the team in the district that had the best season continued it last night. Central Tech, ITC, whatever you want to call it, Institute of Technology Central, beat Central Valley Academy 44-0 last night. ITC ended up going 7-1 this year. There was also a good match between ESM and Auburn. ESM winning that one 20-0. Auburn going into that game 6-1, falling to 6-2. Same record as ESM now. Whitesboro beat Carthage 28-12. Whitesboro continues their dominance in that area of the state. 7-1 on the season for them. And then the last day of the regular season is today. Few local teams playing. Jamesville DeWitt looking to go 8-0. They're taking on 4-3 Pulaski. Oswego High School, tough year for them. They're 2-5. They're taking on Altmar Parish Williamstown, also 2-5. Beeville against Utica Proctor, 0-7 against 2-5. And then Cazenovia looking to go 8-0, taking on Holland Patton at 1-30. So those are the high school scores from yesterday, and then a few games going on today. All of those start at 12 or 1 p.m. The only game kicking off tonight is Mount Markham and Utica Notre Dame at 7 p.m. Jim said Oswego High School actually winning a game is considered a good season. Yeah, it's a tough look at the football program over there at Oswego High School. And if you want to get a better look at the Oswego football program, there is a great series that the Man-Child and Boy Green did on Oswego High School football this year. I've got to, it's called Bucks Knox. They did a 10-episode season, sort of like a Hard Knock style docu-series on Oswego High School football. That's over on the Man-Child Show with Boy Green Digital YouTube channel at MC Show Digital. Boy Green, of course, an Oswego High School alum. So they did a full breakdown on the Oswego High School football season, interviewed their coach, got some video, went out to a few games. They did a really great job on that series. So make sure to check that out. If you do miss the Man-Child Show and Boy Green being on these airwaves, you can still follow them at MC Show Digital on YouTube. They also changed all of their social media ads to that. So if you already followed them on Instagram or followed them on Twitter, you can see all of those there as well. They posted all sorts of stuff. And I know they're no longer on these airwaves, but I was on that show for 3 years. So anytime I get the chance to promote what the Man-Child and Boy Green are doing, I will, because they're doing a great job on the solely digital side of things. Wanted to mention the World Series. Talk about this a little bit. Toronto Blue Jays and Dodgers. Blue Jays win 11-4 last night. Blue Jays pretty heavy underdog. Jim just put the link to the Man-Child Show Twitter account in the chat, by the way. So if you want to check them out, go to that. Blue Jays pretty big underdog in this series. Dodgers were -220 to win the series going into the game last night. Blue Jays were plus 185 were the odds I saw. And I didn't understand why. The Dodgers are really good. They have the best player in the world. He hit a home run last night. I understand. This Blue Jays team is really good. George Springer is a longtime postseason hero. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been hitting like Barry Bonds this postseason. He's got an .894 slugging this playoffs, hitting .447. They've got Alejandro Kirk. Dalton Varsho has been hitting very well in the postseason. So is Ernie Clement. They've got the pitching. And I know a lot of them are old, but when you have Max Scherzer, a 3-time Cy Young winner, 2-time World Series champion, he's going to show up when it matters because he always has. This is his 4th different World Series appearance with 4 different teams. You've got Kevin Gausman, who has turned into a legitimate number 1 in recent years. Didn't have an incredible year this year, but has been a legitimate number 1 pitcher for the last couple years. Chris Bassett is always solid. Shane Bieber, former Cy Young winner, was hurt this year, on the wrong side of 30 or he is 30. So was hurt for a lot of this year, came back, was really solid for them. Jeff Hoffman is a solid relief pitcher who had not a great year. Their bullpen, not as good, not as many big names as the Dodgers. But you look at this offense, they got Bo Bichette back last night, played second base for the first time since 2019 when he was playing in Buffalo. There's just something about this Blue Jays team. And a little fun stat for you that I saw yesterday. This is the 5th time in Major League Baseball history that one of the teams went 7 games in the championship series and the other team swept the championship series. The team that went 7 games has won the previous 4 matchups, or 4-0 against teams that swept. And Toronto got off to a good start last night. Like I said, winning 11-4 over this tough Dodgers team. But the thing about the Dodgers is you can look at that lineup and see Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Kike Hernandez, who has long been a postseason hero for the Dodgers. You look at that intimidating lineup and go, wow, how are we going to overcome that? And the Blue Jays did it last night. You get to the Dodgers bullpen. Dodgers bullpen has greatly struggled. I know Roki Sasaki has been good since he's taken on the closer role, which they won't keep him in the closer role next year, by the way. That guy's going to be a stud starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. Don't you worry about it. I was watching him in Japan after he threw that perfect game, and then he threw another 8 perfect innings the start after. You get to the Dodger bullpen because the starting pitching is obviously great. Blake Snell had his first not even blow up start. He gave up 5 earned in 5 innings, but I wouldn't even call it a massive blow up start. He had his worst start of the postseason. He had been unhittable up to that point. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, in a normal year where Paul Skeens doesn't exist, probably wins the NL Cy Young Award this season. Shohei Ohtani's back on the mound. Tyler Glasnow has been dominant. But if you get to that bullpen, Blake Trinan has struggled. Roki Sasaki has struggled. They're without Michael Kopech, Tanner Scott, Alex Vesia, and Kirby Yates. Their bullpen is running on fumes. That is how you beat the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Blue Jays win this World Series. And I really hope they do. Blue Jays fans have waited long enough. It's been 31 years since the Blue Jays last won a World Series. Or 32. It was 1993. It's been 32 years. This fan base has waited long enough. They've had some fun teams that went on little runs with Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion back in the mid-2010s. But they've never gotten this close since the 90s. And I really want to see them do it. Because, as Josh and I talked about last week, the last thing Major League Baseball fans want is for the Dodgers to win this World Series, because all that will do is fuel the lockout that we're going to have following the 2026 season. It's pretty much inevitable, in my opinion. And I don't want more fuel for that fire. So give me the Blue Jays. Already up 1-0. I was kind of rooting for Seattle in the series prior, but I was also raised by a San Francisco Giants fan. So I've never been one to root for the Dodgers. And I'm certainly not going to start doing that now, when there is a arguably more fun and just as deserving team on the other side. So give me the Blue Jays to win this one. I'm all in on Toronto in the World Series. Got to take one more time out. We'll come back and wrap things up here on Outside the Box Score. We'll be right back on the Score 1260.
Best is an absolute.
So I just asked a buddy of mine, discovered round robins on DraftKings yesterday. It was like a 50-cent round robin that ended up costing $13. He had this insane NBA round robin. So just texted him to see how it went. The game's on ESPN? Ugh. Why would they nationally televise Syracuse? Why would you expose this team to an even bigger audience? I can't believe I haven't yet to mention the NBA gambling scandal.
At McGuire Chevrolet of Baldwinsville.com.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260, wrapping up another fun-filled hour here on the Score. Can't believe it's taken me this long to mention my favorite sports story of the week. Chauncey Billups, I know you're listening from your jail cell. What are we doing? When I wake up Thursday morning and I see breaking news from Shams at ESPN that Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier have been arrested by the FBI, I couldn't believe it. So we've got Chauncey Billups, who is getting high-profile people into high-profile illegal poker games in Vegas. He's hooked up with the Gambinos. He's hooked up with the Lucchese's. He's somehow managed to be connected to like all 5 of the New York crime families. While still, or this is from a few years ago, but actively being involved in NBA media and NBA coaching, currently the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. So he gets hooked up in all this. And then Terry Rozier gets arrested for an entirely different thing. I see both of them get arrested. I'm like, wow, that's weird that the two of them were hooked up in the same gambling ring. No, Terry Rozier was out here sabotaging, telling people to bet his unders, and then faking injuries and getting taken out of the game. This is what happens when professional sports teams ally with gambling companies. I have long said, and this is as a longtime sports bettor, a man who was betting on sports, admittedly, before it was made legal in New York State. It's one of the worst things to happen to sports, is not only the legalization of sports betting, but the constant promotion. You've got LeBron James on Twitter talking about all of his football bets all the time. He's starring in gambling commercials. You've got everyone talking about it. ESPN has like 4 different gambling shows now. It is an absolute racket, which it always has been. But you all of a sudden you legalize it, and these guys are all taking advantage of it. We've seen it at the college level. We've seen it at the pro level. It's one of those things that it's actively ruining the sports watching experience. Because now all of a sudden, I say this as one of my friends sends me a 17-leg parlay he just placed on DraftKings for college football today. All of a sudden, we are losing players who are getting suspended and getting caught and potentially serving jail time. What Terry Rozier did is a felony. What Chauncey Billups did is a felony. We're just in this weird spot with sports and with gambling. I don't love it. I don't love it. And yeah, like I said, I was using offshore books. I had a guy. This is years ago now, but it's just it can't be. They can't be this closely partnered. And also, you know what happened? This is my conspiracy brain. The last time, like an NBA star got caught up in a gambling scandal, he went and played baseball. That's what used to happen under David Stern's NBA. Was your superstar gets caught up in a gambling thing. Like I said, this is full conspiracy brain that I fully believe. Then he goes and plays baseball for a couple years and then he comes back. It's just, I know it's always been a thing and guys have gotten caught for a long time. Hell, it goes back to the 1919 Chicago White Sox. But God, it's my favorite story of the week. I couldn't believe when I woke up and saw Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier had been arrested for separate gambling scandals in the NBA. You got to love it. You got to love where sports are right now. SU games starting right now on ESPN. They're taking on Georgia Tech. If you watch it, God bless you, because that's not going to be pretty. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel, 11 a.m. on the Score 1260. Peace.